hit rock bottom. Is it possible to nail down a distinct start to that death spiral? If you're like me, then rock bottom is on the ocean floor after somebody says, "Go away and let the grown-ups talk." Despair and suffering feel like you're fighting a riptide, bobbing out of the darkness, consuming your weary body, and taking in flashes of the shoreline. Just as any visions of hope swim into focus, I'm pulled farther down by the thoughts of the death of my beloved Uncle Travis, the only person to make me feel seen in the wake of my first suicide attempts. The end of a 4-year serious relationship. And the night that I stumbled into a seedy gay bar and across the path of a predator. That wicked monster roofied my drink and tore my body to shreds from behind, all while wearing a Cheshire smile. They all taught me a lesson. They all eventually left, hurt, or betrayed my trust, leaving me a little more broken than before. Go away and let the grown-ups talk? Words my roommate said to me before he went to go and argue with the third in our love triangle. When you're spiraling, especially as an addict, such an innocuous phrase can be the final straw that breaks the camel's back. So, after losing my Uncle Travis, and my first love, and then getting drugged and raped at a bar, it was all just too much for me to handle. My life seems to be a series of dumpster fires, and I am the fire starter. In an instant, that line of, "Go away and let the grown-ups talk," brings me back to a childhood spent mediating between my parents' tumultuous relationship, taking care of my 3 younger brothers, and most nights, turning off the lights and locking up after my dad passed out drunk again. I was the grown-up. I sulk out of the house and drive through the night aimlessly. Tears blur traffic lights and the street signs. I'm desperate to feel anything else, to feel seen, to not be alone, for anyone to put the energy into me that I have been putting into others. Even physical pain seems preferable to the manic whirlwind ripping through my mind, telling me that I will never find anything good, nor did I deserve to. To anyone on that beach, my car idling in the lot seems odd and out of place. They might see the glow of my phone as I record a farewell video for my family. They won't notice the tears streaming down my face, or the way that my voice cracks when I tell my mom and brothers, there was nothing you could have done to change things. I was born defective. I think too deeply and see what others cannot. Even when I try to be good, it isn't enough. I hope you all know how much I love you and that the pain my death will cause you is my greatest regret. But there is no one on that beach, a major selling point when you're trying to kill yourself. I turn off the car and sit in silence and scream my pain out into the ether. I turn off, panting, I pull a large pocket knife out of the center console and flick it open. For a moment, the world is still as I stare into that glistening blade. Even after years of cutting my wrists and my thighs to bury the pain in my flesh, my hands tremble as the cold steel presses into my forearm. I roar with frustration at my inability to make the deeper cuts and throw my knife to the floor and pound on the steering wheel. The howling wind wrenches my door as soon as I crack it, circling my car and screaming, sobbing fit, pulling on my hair and grabbing my face. The chilling breeze cuts through me better than I had hoped that knife would. I rush to the trunk, and the light glows on my hands as I scour. I cram a weight vest into a backpack, and I cram more things. Tools, rope, more weights. I'm not sure this is what my scoutmasters had in mind when they told me, a Boy Scout is always prepared. Men don't talk about their feelings or their issues, especially men in the military. We suck it up and soldier on. Any misstep is grounds for beating and chastisement. These lessons were carved into my soul by the men that I grew up around. Real men aren't this fucking weak, and I guess I will never be a real man. Dredging across the windswept dunes of the pitch-black beach, sand swallows my feet up to the ankles if I do not keep moving. Standing atop the pier, my car seems a million miles away. I sit down on the bench and tie a frayed rope around and through my ankles and the backpack. The crashing waves and howling gusts blow me into a detached numbness as I climb atop that ledge. The cold embrace of nothingness dances in my mind like a glorious prospect, a place beyond the pains of this life, freedom from myself. My legs tremble on the ledge in spite of the comfort of impending desolation. The cacophony of crashing tides transports me back to that fateful night in the bar. I awoke with my clothes in tatters. I was bruised and bloody, with disjointed flashes of the rape contorting my soul. I can't stand it! I'm not sure when I leave that ledge. Gravity shoots me into the churning ocean so fast that tears roll up my face. The water is so cold despite the Lake Florida springs sapping me of my warmth. The bag full of waste makes a deep thud as it crashes into the ocean floor, kicking up a cloud of sediment around me. The human body is an odd machine. Eager as I am to die, I can't bring myself to swallow the seawater until the pressure and the lack of oxygen threaten to pop my head like a balloon. As hypoxia begins to take hold, I start to black out, kick, jerk, and seize as my body fights against me. Visions of my life play through my head as my hands claw at the rope tethering me to the sea floor. The horrors that had haunted me up on that pier are now gone. They've been replaced with golden scenes, dancing with my mom in the kitchen as she teaches me how to cook, playing outside with my brothers and friends, and even lofty goals being actualized. I still to publish that book I just started writing. Mustering the last of my strength, I kick off from the sea floor. Bursting out of the waves, I swallow air as though I am breathing for the first time. I cough and hack and vomit. My panting begins to settle as I float atop the waves amidst the vomit. Laying face up, too exhausted to do anything else, I notice the moon, which has begun its climb across the night sky. The sea tosses me ashore and I drag myself out of the surf. I roll over and watch the moon. I am unable to rip my attention away from it. Lying on the beach, watching the moon fly over the horizon, my thoughts begin to wander, rediscovering myself. I realize that the troubles waiting for me back at home are inconsequential in the epic of my life. When the sun rises, a new man leaves that beach. In my death, I have found the resolve to live a life that I can be proud of. I'm not sure what that life looks like yet, but for the first time in over a decade, I am hopeful about what my future holds.
Mm-hmm.